A group of lost soldiers were returning from an expedition when they saw a gathering group of Athenian farmers around a fire and decided to join. The soldiers seemed very confused and were asking what happened while they had been gone. The farmers said, "Sit, this will be a very long story." It all started with the poverty in Athens.
Well, what all happened?
We had to live in small 1 to 3 roomed houses and wear wool tunics.
What crops did you grow?
Olives, figs, herbs, and vegetables.
Who were the people of the time?
The Minoans, who were known for bad soil and for farming, wiped out by a volcano and had a writing system known as Linear B.
Then came in the Mycenaeans, and were forced to fight as foot soldiers. By 1200 BC, a lot of our cities were destroyed by warfare and earthquakes.
Is all this you're saying true?
Yes, but there are such things as myths. Stories like the Iliad and the Odyssey were created to fit our environment. Our gods are just creations to interpret what lives were like. We used to worship Demeter, the goddess of grain and good fortune with crops. The priests of our town set up places to talk to our gods as a place called oracles.
What other crazy stuff did people come up with?
Well, people wanted to worship the gods in more ways than one. So every 4 years they would have an event called the Olympic Games. If only I could work in what they used to wear during those games.
What'd they wear?
Nothing.
The leaders of the time let that be illegal?
Not all the leaders were so lenient. We had a democratic government. All the land was owned by nobles called aristocrats. And since we didn't own the land, we had to pay all the owners part what we sold, keeping us in poverty.
What were the names of these leaders?
The leaders were known as etrons, and they only served for 1 year at a time. We hated Draco. He enforced severe and harsh laws that were known as the Draconian laws. We loved Solon. He erased the debts and released the people who had become slaves because of their debt. A few of my brothers and aunt and uncle got all freed. Pisistratus was really hard on us, but he did improve the economy, which affected us in nice ways. Clisthenes created direct democracy, aka representative democracy, which gave us even peasants a say in who got elected for government.
What were the other empires like?
Well, there was the Persian Empire, who were most likely always at war with the Greeks.
Who were their leaders?
Cyrus the Great, who rebelled against Medes, then came Darius and his son Xerxes, who expanded the rule of Persia.
What were the battles between the two empires?
It is a very long list. The Battle of Marathon, which started in 492 BC. The Athenians were outnumbered but defeated. It lasted a total of 10 years.
Battle of Thermopylae, 480 BC. Greeks were surrounded by Persians on the Thermopylae mountains and fought till death.
Who were the Greece leaders at the time?
Leonidas was a great king of Greece in the Second Persian War.
Themistocles from 479 BC, smart and a strategic leader.
Pericles, he was ruler from 461 to 429 BC. He strengthened the empire and built Acropolis.
Then came the Peloponnesian War between Sparta and Athens. Sparta won by starving out the Athenians.
Philip of Macedon II was the father of Alexander the Great, who was an amazing leader until he died of illness after the Great Expedition. He was an amazing leader who expanded our nation greatly.
Lastly, the Archimedes screw was made, which is a great innovation of agriculture.
And when this happened, the farmers let their guards down, as well as the other soldiers. There's almost a crash of thunder as the Romans march in and take over the great city of Athens.